And then I need one volunteer.
Sure, I'll volunteer.
Okay, step on around the table. You can go either way. See about where my light is here. And right about there. There you go. Push your hand in the air. Wave around like you don't care. You know. There you go. That's it. Okay, you can stop. That's good. Okay. How many people have heard of an Xbox? Okay. Everybody thinks Microsoft built a game console. That is not what Microsoft is after with the design of the Kinects and the Xbox. Microsoft has licensed that technology out to virtually every manufacturer in the world. What you're going to see in the next 10 years is the buttons on your appliances will no longer exist. Your TV will have no buttons. You will not have a remote. It's just going to be like, if you've seen like the Mission Impossible movie where Tom Cruise has got the screen, he's doing all these wild gestures when it's happening. It is exactly where we're going. That technology already exists. Most of the major TV manufacturers, starting next year, you're going to see they're going to be going to that technology. You won't have a remote, it won't have a battery. Your TV will watch you. It'll watch what you do. You leave the room, it's going to turn the TV off. And much more smart, intelligent appliances. Now, they also, outside the Xbox, they made an experimental device called Kinect. It's designed for PC and the Mac for programmers and engineers like myself to start developing new applications. So I'm using one of those devices to map 3D to see if we can't find paranormal activity of some type. Okay. So what I'd like to do is kind of, let's have you turn it around real quick.
All the way around.
All the way around.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, that's good. Can you lift one leg? Can you lift the other at the same time? Okay. But what we do is we see her. Now, not only do we see her in the image and represented as a skeletal image on this side, we also see her represented in an IR pictograph on this side. What you don't see is behind the images, I have all the data. I know how tall she is. I know how far she is from my sensor. I know how far long her arm is from her shoulder to her elbow and from her elbow to her hand. If she walks across the field of view, I can tell you how far the stride is. I can tell you how fast she's moving. I can see if she moves her wrist. I can actually, if I want to change the detail grade, I can even see her move her fingers. Okay. So why am I taking this to paranormal use? Well, one is because it's a much more in-depth and robust technology than we're using. We're using IR right now. We can actually also mix ultraviolet in with it at the same time in the same technology. So we're getting a full spectrum type of camera arrangement. So it's perfect to play in the paranormal. I've been using this in a couple experiments with Chris Fleming. We successfully mapped in an image that was not human with Chris on an experiment. I've done it twice in Central City, Colorado. Now that's 3 times out of about 200 attempts. So, you know, like, it isn't really like every time you go you get something. It's a lot of work. But the idea is to be able to eventually keep fine-tuning the software and increasing the sensitivity of the sensor to where we can actually, just like if we get an EVP, we can actually maybe physically see something walk into the field of view. Now, last night, Chris Fleming was over there doing an EVP session, trying to get something to come in with him. And Chris is going, you know, would you like to step in here and see yourself on this computer? And he plays that EVP back and goes, yes! It's just crystal clear and very loud and very creepy, but we weren't able to successfully map anything in with it. What I'm showing you though, what I do this, you can come on around, so out of the loop here. I'm going to show you guys some images here in just a minute. What I do is something, I take a PC. I have a computer running all the time. The reason I do that is data. You know, everybody always talks about, like, I got this EVP and it's like, get out. You know, I really don't care what your EVP says. I really want to understand how it's saying. In other words, I'm after the method, not the message, because once I crack that, I'm so much closer to understanding what we're doing and getting better and better results. So that's really, from my aspect, what it's all about. So that's why I keep kind of pushing the technology out further, because I'm looking for that next step that's going to give us a better key. One of the other things I do all the time, you'll see all the data that's coming across here. I have an atmospheric map. Now, it samples base barometric pressure, relative humidity, temperature in two types of sensors, because there's some false positives with temperature. And we calculate dew point, and I do that 3 times a second. Now, does anybody know why I want to know what the dew point is?
Humidity?
Well, humidity and moisture. What dew point is dew point is the point where air can no longer support the humidity or the moisture in the air, and it begins to precipitate, and you get condensation. And the reason that's really important is, like here, I think when we get down to about 73 degrees in this building, we're going to hit the dew point. Probably won't do it tonight. I'll try to start warming up by morning before we hit there. But at that point, that's when the moisture in the air begins to condensate, and you start seeing natural vapors. So anyway, if you were to click your camera at that point, you're going to get these really interesting mists and shimmering objects. And it's not paranormal, it's absolutely normal. It's just standard weather phenomenon. So I'm always trying to be hyper aware of where I'm at, what I'm doing, and how it's working. I want to do that. The other thing I do with the PC is I always also record 2 audio channels simultaneously. I record audio, and I also record in the electromagnetic spectrum at the same time, because people are always saying, like, in the EVP, and they always associate it with EMF. Well, what we're trying to do is split those 2 out and decide where it's really happening. We need to understand more about how we're getting this. Like I said, the more we know, the better equipment we build in the future. Okay?
You can come through on the other side.
And the distance everybody's away. When you watch this clip, what you need to understand is there are no humans in the field of view. There are 2 chairs. You'll see 2 little skeletal figures that start out sitting in both the chairs. A couple times you're going to hear the camera refocus.
Where are we going? Sorry.
And when the camera refocuses, you'll actually see that the thing